Hi, Blair here with MXM Member Experience Metrics on Expectations Part 2, what I'm calling Expectations and Latent Need. I first learned about what latent need was, probably 30-something years ago, whenever Lexus first came out, with the first year of their car. I was reading a book on marketing, and they were talking about how Lexus tied everything that they were benchmarking to build their car into latent need, meaning a need the customer didn't realize they had. And so, they benchmarked their seats against one brand that they felt that they had the best seats in the world. They benchmarked their, everything in the car. They benchmarked against other brands and said, how can we even take it a step up? Well, one of the things they benchmarked was how quiet a car was. And they built at the time what was the quietest car on the road. And of course, they became wildly successful, and because they tapped into latent need. And I think that exists in every business and every experience, and especially in an experience business like fitness. And so, sometimes you think about where you, as the owner, the leader of the company, where do your expectations come from for your member experience? Because member experience is, of course, made up. You guys really get bored of me saying this, but they can make, cleanliness, friendliness, equipment condition, access to equipment I want to use, touch point friendliness, personal trainers, sales staff, etc. All of these things add up to the member experience and drive things like Net Promoter Score, likely to continue, and revenue and referenceability and so on. So, where do you get your expectations? I think frequently about where mine came from. Why are we so cleanliness obsessed? And part of it is, as the owner, do you just have a desire to be best in class? And there's a lot of owners out there that do. I mean, they can be, killing it with profitability, and that's great, but they also want to be best in class in member experience because they know that gives them resiliency, and it gives them a price buffer because the expectation, the higher, or the experience is, a great experience is worth more. For me, cleanliness comes from some of the busiest casinos in the world in Las Vegas. And, I think about the Wynn and the Bellagio and Aria and multiple others. But they'll get more visitors in one day than any of us do in a month. And I mean, even the busiest of our clubs in one day. But go walk that casino floor around 5:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And just watch how they clean. Watch when they're replacing, the bays on a blackjack table or something. It won't look worn out to you, but it will to them. Watch how many times in a week they clean the same spots. Watch how they block things off and clean stuff that you wouldn't even be looking at. My expectations on cleanliness come from watching that. My expectations on friendliness come from multiple businesses that I've observed. And so when you think about you as the owner, how high are your expectations? And are you bringing in sort of benchmarks from outside the industry on key things that make up the member experience so that the members that you have come in and you tap into their latent need? The latent need is, good Lord, I didn't realize I needed a gym this clean, but now that I've had it, I don't want to go back. I didn't realize I needed a gym this friendly. Most people will list convenience as the number one thing for joining a gym, but connection to people as the number one thing for not wanting to leave a gym. That's a big deal. So expectations and latent need, think about latent need and how you can deliver on all those things that we just talked about. And then what happens is your expectations, like I said in the first one, you start to set extremely high expectations and hit them. So you'll be at expectation.